this waking up process for most of us is going to eventually cause us to become sensitive to things like what we are doing to our planet, what we are doing to our animals, our children, our people. That's a given, right? Like, that's just default, always there. But as we wake up, I've noticed a lot of people, and especially myself, growing increasingly sensitive to our planet and our creatures here. I've always been an animal person. I've always been rescuing animals and stuff my entire life. I've always had a soft spot for animals. As I had I activated the animal and earth empath within me, which essentially is what I always had, but it wasn't really activated in a way that, I guess, affected me in profound ways, right? But personally for me, I spent the first, I still experience incredible heartbreak due to what I see we're doing to our planet, our environment, nature, our animals. But for, I want to say at least the first 3 years after 2020, I was a complete and total basket case over what we were doing to our, earth, what I witnessed from animals. I could not drive past an animal on the side of the road without completely losing it. And to be honest, that still happens today, most of the time. But I'm more, I'm able to handle it better. Like I allow myself to grieve, and I send that animal love, and I just got to move on. That's one of the things that I have had to accustom myself to, is the fact that my heart is so pure and so beautiful, and I want what's best for our animals and our planet and our people and all of that. But given the state of our world, the times we are currently in, it's going to take a lot of work to get to where I think, how do I say this? To get to where I think is a good place for us to be. We have been way too dumbed down, conditioned, programmed, poisoned. It's going to take a lot for people to connect back to the earth, our animals, and each other. But a good thing is, obviously, since the Great Awakening, since all this shit kicked off in mass 2020, more and more people are waking up to this. More and more people are softening their hearts, whether it be through other people in their lives or just their evolution of consciousness that, just did it on their own. People are getting more in touch with their humanity, and I find it absolutely beautiful. But when coming to Mother Earth, and the fact that when we wake up, most of us, we see what we're doing to our planet, to our nature. I'm on a walk this morning. This is what's triggered this rant. And I literally cannot walk anywhere without seeing some kind of trash somewhere. And I'm like, I just shake my head, because it's absolutely disgraceful how we have just allowed all of this, right? But this is generations and generations, decades of programming our people to be the way they are, right? So where they've conditioned us over time to look at nature and the way we landscape our own nature very distortedly. Waking up to the whole landscape thing here, that obsessive, shit that's been here for decades, since, the boomer era, of having the perfect lawn, having the perfect this, having the perfect that with your yard, and, ripping out all the native plants, and, putting plants that aren't native, and having an essentially dead yard. I see nature on my walks and stuff, but I can't tell you the walks that I go on where I'm going through neighborhoods or houses and stuff, and the nature is just not that active, right? And then I will pass. This happened where I used to live back home. There was a section with the neighborhood that I walked in that was left untouched. They didn't do anything. The weeds, they consider weeds, which is basically the flowers, the food for the bees and the moths and the butterflies. It was all left. And so when I would go on my walks, I would observe, maybe a squirrel here and there. I'd see a bird flying here and there, but really no other kind of nature in these people's beautiful looking yards. But they're just they're dead, because there's no nature. And then I get to the patch where it's untouched, where the weeds were left, the beautiful little flowers and stuff that people consider, weeds. It's so gross to me. And what I found is a shit ton of bees, a shit ton of moths, butterflies, all kinds of life just going crazy over that patch of unkept left fucking earth, which that right there was a mortifying realization to me. That was one of the biggest things I woke up to with the landscaping stuff, is witnessing this shit on my own. And through my walks, I would pay attention to the patches that had these kinds of, just weeds or whatever. And there would be the bees and the moths and the butterflies, but I wouldn't find them anywhere else. And then so then the realization of, holy living shit, the landscaping that we've been doing to our not just our own properties, but they fuck with the state parks here. It's all so distorted, and our wildlife, our nature is suffering for it. To see these bees and moths and butterflies gather around all this natural food, and then observing through pretty much anywhere else I walked, not much of that kind of flora and fauna for them. There's not anything in these yards for our bees. I mean, I'm not saying that overall, but for the most part, the bees and the moths and the butterflies, their food, which is the natural, what people consider weeds and shit. They've been programmed to rip all those out and, put toxic pesticides and, plants that aren't native to the area. It's a whole fucking thing waking up to all of this. And it's absolutely mortifying to see, not just what we do to our earth, but at least for me, the suffering it causes. I feel Mother Earth in pain at the same time. She is a fucking warrior. Okay, let's be clear. Mother Earth, Gaia, Terra is her real name. Terra is what the beings outside of this planet refer to her as. She is an incredibly resilient creature, essentially. She is a sentient being. She is a planet. This planet is living. She is alive. She is a sentient being. She's got chakras. She's got organs. She's got all kinds of stuff. And of course, no, it's not necessarily set up in the same exact physical way as humans, but in a way, it absolutely is. As above, so below, as within, so without, right? It's just like us mirroring the cosmos, right? You've got the cosmos network out there. It looks like our neural networks in our brain, right? So many things, not just with the cosmos, but with nature, mirror stuff within the human body. So essentially, we have everything we need on this planet, right? That's how I see it. But back to Mother Earth, she is a living, sentient being, and she is resilient, okay? This is just a message to those who have grown super increasingly sensitive to what we are doing to our planet. I don't say this in a way to tell you to stop caring or stop being sensitive about our planet. I, for one, can't do that if I tried, so I'm not going to tell other people to do that. But I did want to give a perspective to those because it's something I've had to come to terms with over and over again when coming to stuff like this. And that's the simple fact that Mother Earth knows what she's doing. She's in the process, just like we are, of cleansing herself, healing herself. The evil that has ravaged this planet for as long as it has, and how embedded and saturated it is within everything. Where we are going, it cannot come with us, at least not to the degree. Like I've always said, it's not about getting rid of evil completely, because that is not the goal. That's not even realistic. We are in a planet of duality, a universe of duality. The point is to restore some kind of balance. And we have gotten way off kilter. But when coming to Mother Earth, just understand she's a lot tougher than we may give her credit for sometimes. Like I said, I feel her pain, but at the same time, she's like she's like going all in with this shit. I have friends when the Cali fire started going off that were tapping into her and checking on her and asking her if they could bring in rain, and because we have the ability to do all of that. For those who think that sounds insane, we have lots of abilities through our own consciousness. But the surprising thing is, she told them, and these were two different people I heard this from, she told them both the same thing, and she told them, no, let it burn. And oh my God, getting fucking goosebumps, because that is like, whew, that's hard to hear, at least for me, just because, oh, I don't need to explain the amount of suffering that's gone on over there. And thank God they are getting actual help like a government should do in natural disasters. Of course, when the government is, involved with or causing the natural disasters, then, well, it all makes sense then now, doesn't it? But my point is, Mother Earth is resilient. Grieve for her, help heal her. We're here to be boots on the ground and help transmute some of this shit for her, right? And that's going to cause some difficulties within our own lives. I know it has for me, just painful stuff, The process of awakening is parts of it, a lot of it, most of it is the activation of one's heart, right? And the activation of not just our DNA, but the activation of our humanity, essentially, because humans are inherently good beings. We are good, empathetic, loving beings. But the problem is we can and are and have been easily controlled, manipulated, programmed. And when you can program a human to do pretty much anything they want. And that's pretty much what they've been doing here for a really long time. And so now the spells are breaking and people are waking up. They're getting back in touch with their humanity, their love, what it means to be human, loving themselves, forgiving themselves, going through the process of healing themselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. This is all tough work, guys. If you're on this journey as I am, you understand that this is not something you just wake up to and everything's all sunshine and rainbows. Absolutely not. In fact, I think a majority of our people would not be able to handle waking up processes at least as intense as mine. Okay, I've spent a period of a few years after learning about the child ST, not being able to look at a child without imagining them being ripped to shreds. So you program humans and you get them so far away from their truest potential, their divine blueprint, their inherent everything, which is not just being compassionate and empathetic and loving. It's also, we are multidimensional beings. We have inherent built-in powers that come natural to the human. Should you activate them, heal them, there's tons of different processes to get these abilities back online. It's quite a process, but we all have these abilities, the clairvoyant abilities, remote viewing, time traveling, telekinesis, teleportation. I have friends that can do stuff like this, and so as we wake up, we're not just getting in touch with our humanity and all that, but we're activating as well. And so it's quite a process. So back to Mother Earth. Understand, she is a tough cookie, okay? She's a tough cookie. Obviously, you would have to be if you're an entire effing planet, right? She's pretty massive. She's not just a planet on the outside and a water planet. She's got shit inside of her, whole nother worlds, right? She really don't need us, okay? And this is the process of cleansing, okay? Not everybody has agreed to move forward with where we're going, and that kind of, it's all connected. It goes hand in hand with her cleansing herself, whether she is cleansing it herself or it's artificial cleansing. The fucking dues and all that shit has been a fucking fucked up realization for me over and over again, seeing that, okay, looks like that shit has to go on too, especially if she was telling people that tapped into her during the Cali fires to let it burn, right? So she will do whatever she has to cleanse herself. And so we are kind of caught in the middle. We can either go against it or we can go with her. I would rather, I don't have a choice. And my inherent soul would be going with her anyways. I could never be against nature and all this shit. I just couldn't. If she wanted to, she could wipe out this entire planet if necessary. But I think she is more than willing to give us another chance at not fighting against her, not being against nature, right? Where, in our society here in America, it's just a normal thing to just, nonchalantly, oh, I don't want that tree there because it does that, cut it down. We need to be more conscious of the world around us. And that might sound insane to some people. Okay, yeah, well, it's just a tree, just fucking cut it down. But if you don't know the work of Cleve Baxter, who is the guy that invented the polygraph, he started using his polygraph on his plants in his lab and found that they have an electrical system almost just as complex as humans. Plants, nature is almost just as complex as humans. The fact there is a biological connection that links all life together. The telepathic thing, okay? So he would test this out on his plants, on different animals, and they would emit screams when something would be going wrong. Baxter got the idea first to burn the leaf of his Dracania plant, and when he got the thought of it, it started emitting screams. If I experienced something like that, I would probably be freaking out about the nature I'm even walking on right now, right? But still, the point is, nature is very much alive, very much alive, very much alive. Our animals, our plants, our wildlife, everything is living. I have sensed for a while Mother Earth willing to work with those of us that are waking up. Because like I said, she could wipe out this entire planet. And honestly, she has the ability to do that if she wanted to. She really does. But that's not going to happen. So we're going to go through this period of transformation and activation and waking up and shedding and healing and all this shit, and then dealing with the outside world and trying to help them see and trying to heal ourselves and do better and fucking wake up the world and I've gone back and forth with the whole, am I here to help wake people up? No, I'm not here to help wake people up. I should let them be on their own journey. But what I've realized is, when I feel compelled to talk about something with somebody, I will. I'm more so, especially if I'm just talking to normal people, I'll plant seeds, right? I'll colorfully plant seeds, in ways where they may reflect later. Will I ever see the fruits of those seeds? No. But that's the process of waking up. You just got to live your life, essentially, and help, I guess, show people the way when you feel compelled, but we don't force waking up on anybody who isn't ready, because there's so many different levels of consciousness out there. We want to get people to see, but we must understand that people can only operate at their level of consciousness. So we've got to be patient and gentle with people. So moral of the story to Mother Earth is grieve and feel how you do about her. I do too, but understand she's resilient. Understand she is going to be just fine, okay? She's going to be just fine. No matter what happens, she's going to be just fine. This really is, whether it's her causing the cataclysms or disasters or artificial, this really is how it has to go in order for her to cleanse herself. The dark serves the light, does it not, my friends? The deeper you look into things, like, it is absolutely horrific, them lasering down towns, okay? But what does this do? It disturbingly causes people to wake up in really horrific ways, and it helps them find their humanity. And let's be honest, California probably could have used some of that, right? So this is the process we are going through. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be even fair, okay? I don't know that I would consider it fair that she allowed the artificial lasering down, for the sole purpose of cleansing, but this is just how it has to go. This is the ghetto planet of the cosmos. This is the school of hard knocks for this universe, right? This shit is going to be a little fucked here. The lessons, everything. And it is what it is. This is the process of processing and acclimating to all of this and still finding the ability to do what you can to fight against all of it, right? Anyways, I think I've said enough on that. I also wanted to talk about our children. We do not give our children enough credit. Oh my goodness, our children are, I get goosebumps thinking about them. They are just magnificent. They are the purest souls, the purest hearts of this planet, and as they should be protected. But we do not give them enough credit. Our children have been, for generations and generations and generations, just been treated like, oh, you're a child, you don't know nothing, just shut up and listen, right? But as we have evolved, and especially the times we are going in now, the children, oh my God, a lot of them are given the room to be themselves. Their parents are starting to allow them to be children and actually listen to them and treat them as their own human. This is amazing. Of course, there's an ungodly amount of children suffering out there, but my point is, we do not give our kids enough credit. They are brilliant fucking souls. They are the most pure-hearted. They have the clear, they don't have any baggage and emotional shit. They are all tuned into their abilities and stuff. They are magnificent. I absolutely love children. And the souls that have been coming in the last decade or two, holy shit. I've got friends with kids and kids that I've encountered that have literally rocked my world with some of the shit that they've said that's come out of their mouth. I'm like, oh my God, these are the most ancient little beings, like stuck in this like little like human meat suit, right? And it is amazing, the children coming in nowadays. Like, you know, when you look back when it comes to the whole light worker brigade, right? We have the hippie wave. That was pretty much the first movement of the bulk of light workers coming in. And then you have us indigos, us millennials, which I think, I mean, I don't know, I could be wrong. I honestly don't fucking know anything. But there was a fuck ton of us that came in the 80s. Just because I think we are supposed to be the foundation and lay the groundwork for our children to build the new world, right? That's why there is so many of us. But the children have been evolving. They are so much more evolved than even me. And of course, it's not a competition at all. But they blow my mind, the children coming in. My girl, Sherry Divban. Hey, Sherry, if you're listening, love you, girl. She works with the New Earth children. And holy shit, the things she has talked about over the years, these children coming in and what they're doing here, it is absolutely amazing. This is one of the things that, at least for me, observing it as much as I have the last few years, how our children are nowadays. They are our future. I'm not worried. I'm really not worried like a lot of people are about our future, because I see our highly advanced and evolved children. A lot of these children are literal fucking extraterrestrials in human meat suits. And some of them are literal extraterrestrials that look like humans, but they're actually extraterrestrial. Like, there's a lot going on, right? But these children coming in are freaking amazing. And so observing that just solidifies for me our future, because the kids coming in nowadays, wow, where we're going to be in 10, 15 years with these little youngins, dude, I'm telling you right now, if you are not paying attention to the children coming in and just the children coming in the last 2 decades, dude, I'm telling you right now, oh God, I get goosebumps talking about this shit. That is our future right there. And that's why it was one of the reasons I'm not really worried about it, because us waking up in mass and activating, and also the children coming in, that right there tells you where we are going, folks. That's not a dark timeline that everybody, you know, the black pillars and all of the new world order. Okay, all right, great. Okay, yes, there is going to be a lot of shit that goes on, but y'all don't even know. We shouldn't even be talking on our phones right now. We shouldn't even be living in our houses. We should have long been rounded up into FEMA camps, or either, offed or whatever. Y'all just have no idea. So there's been a lot of timeline shifts that a lot of people aren't aware of, because they're still stuck on old information. And if you're not paying attention to other things outside of the distractions that show you that old information that could tell you, oh, this is most definitely occurring. The New World Order is most definitely occurring. AI, transhumanism, and fucking goddamn Terminator, all that shit, it's most definitely occurring. And while I'm not saying to not be sus about that stuff and always keep one motherfucking eye open with everything, okay? I'm telling you right now, we are not on that fucking timeline. We're not on it. I think we might get a combination of a little bit of that timeline mixed with, great awakening type shit. But as far as all that, what people think, the AI future and the robots, and yeah, that is all going to happen, but it's not going to be what people think. And when it comes to AI, people have been, when you wake up and you realize AI plays a big part in all the malevolent shit going on Earth, they automatically default to all AI is evil. All AI is, whatever. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, not all AI is evil. It all depends on who programs it, okay? And I don't know if you know, but since pretty much the inception of internet, they have been using AI through all different kinds of things on the internet for the applications of websites and platforms and all that stuff. So AI isn't just a simple bot that changes your algorithm. It's actually the mechanisms behind some of this shit that we have on our computers. So all I'm saying, and I will end it with this, and I'll always end it with this, I'll always cover some hard topics and I'll always whatever, but I'm always going to end with the fact that there's nothing to fear, guys. There's nothing to fear. Warrior up. Rest when you need to, right? Grieve when you need to. Process shit when you need to. We are going through so much. We are all going through so much, and you need to be easy on yourself. But I also just want people to if you're having a hard time, just chill. I promise you, there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. There's a lot of good that's coming. There's a lot of crazy shit that's coming, but the Great Awakening we've just gained a major footing with Trump getting in. I don't give a good fuck if you agree with him, like him, whatever. As I will always say, it matters what he does. Executive orders, policies, bills passed, could give a fuck less what he says, okay? But actually having him back in office is going to help a lot. There's already so much that has occurred that a lot of people don't know about. A lot of people don't know that's occurring because they don't follow what the White House and the president are exactly doing. They like to rely on, propaganda machine outlet, news media and doctored memes for the pushing of their narrative. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's like, that is such a waste of time. Like, go straight to the source, the facts. Go straight. And when it comes to Trump and all of that, like I've said in many of my videos, you need to go straight to the fucking source. You need to go straight to the source. Elon, RFK Jr., Trump, no matter what you hear about him, you better just go listen to the video, the briefing, whatever. I know for Trump, he talks in a stream of consciousness, okay? That's why you can't really get sound clip bites off of him. Journalists have long had a really difficult time trying to quote him because he talks in a stream of consciousness. You know why? Because he ain't a fucking politician, bro. Anyways. So, I think that's all I got for today, guys. I love y'all. Hang in there and have a good one.